What if you've got a pop-up that appears every time you load a page? So this particular page over here is going to keep giving me this pop-up every time I refresh the URL. And you could set this for every page of your website or particular pages. But what if, for instance, I only want this pop-up to appear on Wednesday or Thursday of every week, and every other day I don't want it to appear? And just to prove to you this is working, if I refresh the page, that pop-up appears. I only want it to appear each Wednesday. Now, you're going to think that's pretty easy to do. You just go to display conditions or, stuff like that, and it will sort it out. You're going to be surprised. That is not actually what will work for you. And what you've got to use is a little bit of trickery or a code snippet. And I'm going to show you how to do that. First, let's analyze the actual pop-up. So this is a pop-up template. You build it out how you want. You can make it as extravagant as you want, animations, whatever you want to do. Over here, I have got a display condition. This is going to be for the entire site. And when you go to the trigger, I can actually define if it's going to load on page load. But what you don't have is when it will actually appear. Now, I know a lot of you, because I was looking into this in the past, are going to say, well, why don't you just go to advanced rules, scroll down, and you will have schedule, date, and time. I'm going to go and activate that. But the only options I get are for the actual specific date and time. So if I go and say, let's pick this Wednesday, and I go and pop it in, it will only be for that date. It won't be every individual Wednesday that now comes on. You don't have that facility here. And again, some of you are going to be shouting at screen and going, no, you're doing this wrong. You don't set it here. What you do is go and click on your actual widget or the container, go to the advanced tab, and down here we have display conditions. You go and add a display condition. Again, you are actually wrong here. Let's go and add a condition, and I'm going to scroll down until I get to day of the week. And then this is where you could say every Wednesday, and you can decide if it's the server time or the visitor time. Let me show you what happens if you go and pick that, because I know a lot of people have picked that and gone, great, I've met the objective. This pop-up will only ever open on a Wednesday. Believe me, this is not going to work for you. So I'm now going to hit save and close. And I've gone back to my fake page. Today, at the time of recording, is Tuesday. So if I hit refresh, that pop-up should not appear. And it will not appear. But watch what happens in its place. So I hit refresh, and the background overlay still appears. The pop-up is missing, but I still get the overlay. And if you look there, you're going to see the cross button to close. So even though the pop-up is not appearing because of the display condition, the overlay is still there. And you might turn around and go, well, okay, let's remove the overlay. But what if you did want the overlay and the X will still appear? Okay, we'll get rid of the X. But no, then you've now removed the X for when you do want it to appear. So this is not going to work for you. Here's what you need to do. Now, I mentioned code snippet, but actually you're going to drop it into a HTML widget. So let's go back over to our actual pop-up. The first thing that I will do is go back to my container or wherever you had gone and added in your display condition. Click on it, and I'm going to get rid of it, okay? Because we've proven that that does not work very well for you. Instead, we're going to drop in a HTML widget into the pop-up. And then here we're going to drop a bit of code, and a link for this code is in the video description. Just click the link, copy and paste, and drop it in. It's not a short bit of code, but there's only two things you need to worry about. The first one is that you need to change this number over here, 8118, to be the actual ID for your pop-up. Inside of the template section of WordPress, where I have my Elementor template, I'm going to go over to pop-up, and it's this particular one over here. Product pop-up. That's just the one I'm using for this tutorial. And you can see my ID over there is 8118. So if you were using it for the second one over here, you would replace my number with 7036. Please make sure you pop in the correct ID. So I'm going to leave that as 8118. The second thing you need to do, and this is pretty simple, is you want to go and change this number. The numbers start from 0 to 6. The number starts from 0. So 0 is Sunday, 1 is Monday, 2 is Tuesday, 3 is Wednesday, 4 is Thursday, 5 is Friday, and 6 is Saturday. But Sunday is 0, so take that into account. Now, we're going to enable this pop-up to only open on Wednesday, and I will show you in a minute when we test it out, okay, because today is actually Tuesday. So if I go and change this number now to become a 3, this will open on Wednesdays only. Remember, today at the time of recording is Tuesday. We've dropped that in, we've got the correct ID, and I've set it to be Wednesday. Let's now hit publish and go back to my test page. I will now refresh this page. Okay, and you can see it refreshing because the widgets are loading in for this particular archive, and the pop-up does not appear whatsoever. We don't even get that background overlay or the X at all. It is not even preloading like a flash effect. Look, if you stare really closely, you can pause the video if you want, put it on really ultra slow motion. It's not like the pop-up appears and then it hides itself out of view. It's no longer there. Now, because today is Tuesday, let's go and change the number from a 3 to a 2. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here right now. We've changed it to a 2 and we're going to hit publish. We go back to my test page. Remember, number 2, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday at the time of recording. And when I refresh the page now, the pop-up appears. Let's hit the X to close it. Let's hit refresh and it appears again. That pop-up will appear on every page, because I've currently set this to be entire site, every Tuesday. So it won't appear tomorrow because currently it's set to be number 2 Tuesday. If you want to set it to only be for certain pages or whatever, you can do that. But by using that particular code, I can now control, because maybe you got like a limited offer or a special coupon that you only run on Fridays or something like that. This will now work for you. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share and follow. I'll see you soon.